They're creating a diversion. Now, I've talked to you guys about this just here recently on a previous video about how Walmart stores are being shut down temporarily and permanently. Why? Because they're being set on fire. Why are they being set on fire? Or why are fires starting? Is a good question, but realistically, they're being set on fire as a diversion to distract people away from what they're actually trying to do, which is steal product away from the store. So they go and pile up a shopping cart or 2 or 3 or 4 or however many people are involved in this organized theft ring, and then they prepare to steal all these items. But it's easier said than done. Granted, Walmart doesn't have the greatest security and won't engage in any of these theft activities. So realistically, they could just walk out the front door without even having to create a diversion, really. But instead, what they do is they start a fire. And that fire then draws everybody's attention away from where they are to the fire. And then they are free to, do whatever it is that they're planning on doing. Now, let's take this a step further. Squirrel Tribe just put up a video and she mentioned Walmart evacuations as a result of none other than bomb threats. Well, guess what? This can be another diversion. So, what are they doing? They're pulling the attention away from the theft that they're trying to accomplish by forcing people to evacuate the stores. Now, do you think that if a bomb threat's called in, that a store is going to evacuate smoothly, calmly? Do you think that customers and shoppers and consumers, patrons of these stores have planned and had, bomb threat drills so that they know the correct path to exit? Odds are probably not. Which, folks, if this isn't part of your prep, it should be. You should be well aware of every opportunity, every possible exit and route. Closest exits to you in case of an emergency that you need to evacuate a building for whatever the threat may be. Whatever the threat may be. Now, with that being said, this is going to have a huge impact on the future of Walmart, the future of retail, and a variety of other stores that are probably paying attention to what's going on and saying to themselves, we can't let this happen to us, or we're going to close down for good. We're going to wipe out all these jobs. We're going to further tank the economy. Or entrepreneurs looking to start businesses, they're not going to go the route of brick and mortar. And they're definitely not going to go the route of having the ability to have customers walking throughout the stores, creating these potentially dangerous situations. Now, granted, these threats could further, extend their reach and go beyond just the stores and start hitting corporate offices and warehouses and fulfillment centers, hubs all around the world, all around. It just, honestly, it's almost, there's almost no limit to the reach. But what it will do is it will further drive up security. It will further drive up the need to reduce vulnerability. It will further drive up the need for automation and higher prices. Because basically, if you can remove the threat of human life from the situation by running AI and robots and technology, then the bomb threat is just it has a little bit different effect to it, I guess. But even then, there will become a point where if there's no people allowed in the facility, point blank, then they'll probably be pretty easily able to decipher between a real threat and a hoax. So with that being said, in order for that to be accomplished, it's going to have a cost. And that cost will then be translated and passed on to you and I, the consumers, the shoppers. Which, that being said, folks, if you're only a consumer, then you are potentially missing out on any possible wealth building opportunities, and you're literally chasing your tail. You should not only be a consumer, but you should be a creator and an investor. And if you want to know more about that, well, please comment down below. But what we must pay attention to is what is going on around us. And all these different threats that are ultimately having a major impact on the law-abiding, hardworking U.S. citizens and citizens of the world, for that matter, who are literally just trying to get by, live their lives, and not bother anyone, try to afford the rising costs that we're seeing across the board in a variety of different ways: inflation, pending recession, job loss, housing market crash. The list goes on and on. While others are out there trying to make things worse, trying to cause so many different problems and disruptions on top of everything else we've already got going on. And I didn't even begin to mention these balloons flying overhead from China. So, folks, what do? Well, all we can do is prepare. And with that preparation, I would say, number one, be aware of your surroundings for sure. Because if this threat is real, or these threats become real, then you don't want to find out the hard way. I'm sure your family doesn't want that either. And additionally, from there, we got to prepare for what's coming. We got to understand and realize that there are going to be boundaries and defense systems put in place. The shopping experience is going to change. It's going to be, in my opinion, probably ruined. And the idea of walking inside of a store, browsing, shopping, is no more. I mean, I read a report that shopping malls are now all, there's a huge growing list of shopping malls that are pretty much abandoned ghost towns. And we are witnessing an evolution in business. And with that being said, job opportunities are going to change. They're going to be eliminated, they're going to be reduced, but new ones will come about. But odds are they're not going to be just for any applicant that is willing and able to work. You're going to need to have some skill. And that skill is going to be heavily based on technology and code and AI and automation and, basically just the way that computers are taking over. It means you're going to need to know more about working with and on computers than ever before, than just showing up to work, going through a training, and manning a station, okay? So we thought at one point having a college degree was going to be the difference in having a good job or not, but now it may shift to having real-world experience as well as certifications in a variety of different tech spaces. While tech companies are initiating huge layoffs at the same time. So this is a challenging time, folks, and probably only going to continuously get more challenging. So I, myself, would be doing exactly what I am doing, which is continuously working to increase my income and making sure that I'm trying to spend less than what I make. Budgeting, eliminating high interest debt, and working towards saving and investing. Because there will come a point in time where I would prefer, much like a lot of folks out there, to have the passive income streams that can provide for me without me ever having to actually go to work. The way that I can make money while I sleep so I don't have to work until I die. And unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case for many, especially some now who are nearing retirement and are realized, or at least retirement age, and realizing that they don't have quite what it takes to pull that off. And at 60, 65, almost 70 years old, they're looking for jobs, which these jobs no longer exist because of the evolutionary change that is occurring that I just described to you. The Walmart greeter is no more, and even if they were, the amount of compensation that you would receive in base pay wouldn't even cover the cost of actually driving to work with the price of gas, and more than likely how high the gas prices are likely to climb this spring and summer. So then they look to gig work, working through Uber Eats or Uber or Lyft or Grubhub or any of these delivery services. And yes, you can actually make money doing these, but you may actually spend more time trying to make that money than you would just working an 8-hour shift at a normal job if you could get one. not to mention the added costs and burden that have to be carried with these, putting a huge strain on vehicles, transportation, maintenance, wear and tear, fuel, insurance, the list goes on and on. So what should you do? Well, again, you should prepare. You should figure out, what are your goals? What are your objectives? What are you trying to accomplish? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What opportunities exist based on those? What do you have experience in? What do you enjoy? But folks, you know me, I'm going to leverage and lean on social media, content creation, and more specifically YouTube. So if you guys want to know more about that, the opportunities that exist there, and how you can use these to make money, more than likely having the opportunity to make more money than the average person has ever made working a normal job, then by all means, feel free to reach out and connect with me on Patreon, links in the description, as well as there's a variety of other links in the description for starting businesses, becoming CEOs, investing for beginners. Don't forget to sign up for your Moo brokerage account and get your free stocks. Folks, we can do this. You can do this, but it's going to take probably more effort in a unique and evolutionary way, becoming more innovative now moving forward than we have in the past. But guess what? The beauty of it is you've got help. There is a massive amount of support through social media, through the networks, through free information that's provided and shared on a regular basis. Now, I will say that as a disclaimer, some of the information that's being shared isn't necessarily 100% true and accurate. And I could share with you a few channels that I've come across that they paint a picture of the dream, but they don't really explain to you what it takes to get there. And folks, passive income is not something that you just wake up to one morning. Passive income is the end results. It's the fruits of your labor, folks. And so you got to put the work in up front to make the passive income happen on the back end. But if you want to know, probably here's a simple and easy way to identify some of these misleading creators. And I'm not throwing these folks under the bus. Look, they're using the platform in a way to generate revenue and income for them. I get it. But there are some people out there who are looking for answers, and they're watching this content assuming that these are answers, and they're not quite such. But it can happen, it can be done. I do it every single day. I help a lot of other people do it on a regular basis, but it's a pretty clear sign when you watch a video, and if you can scroll down to the comments, if there's very few comments, especially if a lot of the comments repeat themselves and have a lot of emojis, then it's pretty clear that those comments were more than likely automated and or purchased just to create some form of engagement to make the content appear real. But in all actuality, the content is really just there to generate a few views if they can get monetized on the platform, to receive some ad revenue, but more likely to promote and push people to their online courses and their other affiliate links and a variety of different things. Like I said, they're using it for the intended purpose of making money. But folks, I can show you how to use this in a much more effective way to create a much more sustainable revenue source that actually provides value to the viewers, and more importantly to the advertisers and the marketing and the sponsors and the paid promotion opportunities that exist out there, that once you got started and you saw what was there, before you wouldn't believe, but once you get going and I show you, you'll be like, you'll really be scratching your head like, I can't believe that this exists. I can't believe this is out here, and I can't believe that I've waited so long to take advantage of these opportunities. Folks, go check out G.I. Justin, not just because he's a friend of mine and I really like the content that he's creating and the channel that he's building and he's growing, but he has embraced the idea and understands the potential opportunity that exists from creating content, providing value, and ultimately using that to generate revenues and income to support and sustain him and his family's lifestyle, especially now in this tough economic time and being a small business owner. If you guys have any questions, feel free, let me know, drop a comment, contact me, links in the description. Until next time, you guys take care, be safe. I'll see you real soon. Bye.